Hey folks, welcome back. Today I didn't really know what to do. Didn't really think about doing. Didn't really think about doing a thing. You are on the wrong screen. Screen 2 done. Visible. There we go. Didn't really know what to do, and since House Flipper didn't really seem like a thing I was overly interested in doing today, there has been a thing I've been working on for quite a bit, and that thing is my Crystalized Arcana thing. I am not overly sure, like, how well or unwell this is gonna go, but we'll see. Today we're gonna continue, well, I'm gonna continue working on this. If any of y'all have any ideas for this, please do let me know. So, specifically, Crystalized Arcana is gonna be the name of my campaign that has to deal with, it's pretty much following a story that some of my players might know. We'll talk about that when we get to quests at some point. We'll have to see. So, in the worlds of Crystalized Arcana, the world has pretty much exploded. There's a shining ball of something in the middle, which is called the world core, and every piece of the world is held together by some form of weird arcana. Some form of weird magic, so to speak. These parts are called splinters, and sometimes a big one of these has a small one of these, and those are sub-splinters. There's some campaign-specific things and some specific, like, boat stuff that I took from Wikipedia to base myself on, and I definitely won't find that this is from a version of Mass Effect, specifically gonna be like something similar to that. Today I was pretty much gonna look at what I need for the first part, so that I might be able to make this playable for people. So here specifically in my quest thing we have the prologue, which is gonna be on a ship, in the first splinter that we come across. There's a crewmate that dies and they meet up with the local. That is pretty much what happens in Mass Effect as well. So the player starts on the HMS Mercia, His Majesty's ship Mercia, the top of the line ship that has the ability to lower its mast to go into a form of stealth mode. And with a sufficiently advanced wizard, it can go invisible. One such wizard, a Saint, S-A-I-N-T, has been sent to test the viability of the vessel with the group of players on board and go fly towards one of the human splinters, Utopia. On the ship, there's also an admiral, a human, who works for the human military, who is in charge of several surveillance and research ships, not unlike this one. Players are called to the aft castle and are given the full explanation on the mission. They have found an Artling Oracle, a small shrine with a crystal ball inside that might have more information on what happened to that species. Arriving to the splinter, the Saint finds out another Saint is on the splinter, moves out before the players are set down at the port with his skiff. Then with landing, and then the trade ports, warehouse, and division specifically. So what I'm gonna try and work on today are specifically the Saint, the good Saint, quote unquote, the bad Saint, the Admiral, A couple people for in the landing, a person for in the trade port. Maybe work on a map for the landing, trade port, warehouse, and see if I can get like a cool image of a nautiloid or like a shaped shell above a thing. So yeah, that's the prologue in chapter 0 I have down here as well, with already some interesting characters that might be interesting to meet up. So this all we do not need at this point in time. So let's see about the GIF Saint magic user. So I would like, in my lists of lists, yes, I think this one is not going to be a thing for today. I think people are still messing around with that. Yeah, so let's get a new page in Natural Crit open. And let's see about all this. You can go. So this is the homebrewery, naturalcrit.com. I've been using this for several things. For instance, I've been using this to write down a excerpt from the stories that we've been through with a game I've been playing for a bit. So let's see, do we have PHP? Not really, huh. I thought it might. Quote, no description. Monster stat block, technically. Yeah, this should be able to work. So, specifically I want the the guy, the saint, the good saint, to have a stat block that seems useful. No, we do not need one for him. He will die before he ever uses his stat block. Okay, that makes that easier. Okay, then we step up to number 2, the evil saint. There we go. No stat block needed. Then the evil one is called Vrinath. Vrinath, which is a which is going to be a GIF. Is that how those are made? I am forgetful. I will have to check that out myself. GIF. Is this the race or the monster manual? There we go. GIF. Okay. Medium humanoid GIF. He is gonna be lawful evil. He has to be viable with whatchamacallit. He has to be viable with I want to say Blade Singer stuff. Yeah, it seems good. Let's do Blade Singer. So let's pull up a new tab in D&D Beyond. Actually, do I need that? Not really. I could make him a regular GIF, yeah. GIF Warrior or the GIF Yankee Knight, GIF Samurai Monk. Let's make him a Gibson monk. I will have to increase his challenge rating somewhat, because Gibson monks, right over here, are a bit on the weak side. So they have a challenge rating of 2, which this will not do for what I am envisioning to have going on with this guy. So let's start specifically with his armor class. So Vrinaf will have need of a armor class that is decent, so that people can't just like nick him off. But he might have most of that from his dexterity. I'm gonna give him quite some dexterity, quite some strength. So, as for strength, he needs to be able to defeat, I'm gonna say, 4 level 5 characters. He needs to be able to defeat 4 level 5 characters. Level 5, you have gotten 1 stat upgrade, so if we go check Global Fight Club, 4 players of level 5. A hard fight, preferably with 1 enemy. It's 1 bandit captain. That's just hard. Okay. Oh no. This is literally only looking for. Okay. Drow Mage. That could actually work. So let's go check. Draw Mage out. So in the Draw Mage stat block view page, this is Legacy. So this is the 2014, sorry, rule set. This is the one I'm most comfortable with. We'll see if how much of that is needed to see about 2024 rules, but we'll see. Okay, so armor class 12 or 15 with mage armor. So it's nothing overly bad, except for like the spellcasting bit. Okay. In that case, fair enough. Let's make him based on the spell slinger. Again, rules, classes, wizard, most likely somewhere down below. Wizard, there we go. And then the blade singing, that's the one. So, training and soaring. And light armor is the max he could wield. Cool. Okay, so light armor. What can we? Light armor is like leather and studded leather and the likes, right? So let's go and see. Oh come on! Why is it? Why is this taking so long? Light armor. This should mostly be like yeah, supple and thin materials, padded leather and studded leather. Let's give him studded leather, which is the max out of this, so... studded leather. I think they do not get... shield. Extra attacks on offense. No. Okay, cool. They do not get a shield. Actually works out, kind of. Okay. And it's 12 plus his dex. Shield can go. Hit points. So the Drow Mage has 10d8 hit points, which we might have to increase. Like, the 45 might be a little less. A little... very little. Can we do that again? That is anywhere from like 10 to 80, and for some reason it keeps on rolling average, which is fine. Then again, I might want him to have 2 phases. Kind of makes sense for the guy. Okay, so how is that even possible? Hit points 118, 1d4 plus 5. Yeah, no, that's not. Yeah, let's give him 45 and then 10d8. Speed is gonna be 30 foot. Walking speed, yeah. Okay, so as for his bonuses, I want him to be rather intelligent, but have a rather low wisdom. So, how does this even... what? Oh no, that does make sense. Okay. Specifically, this makes sense. This isn't passed correctly. So, yeah, intelligence. Let's put intelligence up to 16, which is a plus 3. His wisdom might become a 8. It's a -1. -1. His charisma is definitely going to be like a 16 or something akin to that. His constitution might also be close to this. As for his dex, I want him to have like 16 or 18, so let's do 16, which is a plus 3, and strength we can have like 14, which is a plus 2. Condition immunity. I want him to be immune to charm. Specifically because he technically already is charmed. Is there anything else? The guy is... no, that seems fine for now. Senses, dark vision, and passive perception. Passive perception is going to be rather low indeed. Which is going to be... oh boy. 8 plus his wisdom modifier plus his proficiency bonus, which is gonna be like 3 or a 4 on that level. So that's gonna be like an 11, unless I'm mistaken. Languages: Common, Gith, and I think that's pretty much going to be it for this guy. As for this challenge, I want him to be somewhere around a 7, which would make... Let's get the Draw Mage up again. Which would be 2,900 experience. With a proficiency bonus of +3. Okay. Now we get to the parts that are a little bit less basic. So I might have to open up another tab and get GIF up again. And then the GIF of this. Just so that I have a good notion of what is going on. So languages give challenge rating 6. So technically we could pretty much take a surf. Yeah, it might actually be more interesting to do that. Armor class. 17, 84, which is gonna indeed be 13d8 plus 26, speed 30 foot. Everything in this sounds good except for Whiz. 18 plus 4, 15 plus 15 is a +2, correct. 16 plus 3, Wisdom can tank, and the Charisma can go to 16 plus 3. As for saving throws, let's... STR... 4, Dex +7, Int +6, Whiz plus +1, and Charisma. Doesn't say. Cool. Strength, Dex. Oh, all of those are regular. Okay. All of those are special. Skills. Arcana. +6. Insights +6. And Perception +6. Senses, passive perception is gonna drop down significantly. It's good where it is right now. Languages GIF, challenge rating, yeah, let's do 6. This is gonna be the closest one we can get. Challenge rating 6, for those that do not know how that works. Specifically in this case, it would mean that 4 characters of level 6 would need to fight him, and the battle would be even-ish. Not entirely correct, but kind of correct. And that's sometimes the best kind of correct. So... all of this can go. But we do have innate spellcasting. Sonics. Free nat. Spellcast. Oh, no. Vrenav's spellcasting ability is I'm gonna change this to Charisma. Spell save DC is gonna be 8 plus his Charisma, which is plus 3, plus his Proficiency, which is also 3, so 8 plus 6 is 14. And that is a plus 6 to hit with spell attacks. He can innately cast the following spells requiring no components at will. Mage Hand, the hand is invisible. 3 to bay each. Feather fall, jump, see invisibility. Wow. Shield, 1 per day each. Phantasmal Killer. I do not want to give him Plane Shift, because Plane Shift is one of those skills that... is it the one that I'm thinking of? You know, the 8 all creatures will encounter in a circle are transported to a different plane of existence. Yeah, I do not want that to happen. In the guy's base form, yeah, so I might change a thing up. I might change up that he only has one of this. Yes. And then I want to give him Magic Missile. And then say 2 bolts per player. I think that's possible. Could be mistaken. Magic Missile! Oh, this is the wrong one. This is the right one. I hate that this website, D&D Beyond, does not have the somewhere a button that just says, oh yeah, only give me like 2024 or 2014 edition stuff. 3 glowing darts. When you cast this level on the highest slot of second level or higher, the spell creates 1 more dart for each slot above first. So if this spell is cast at second level, it would be 4. Third, 4th, 5th, 6th. 6th level spell. But thrice. No. Nope. Nope. That is a once and done. Yeah, so if this were to hit, okay, don't mind the Dutch. So if this is supposed to hit, so that would be 1 times 6, no, 1 times 8, which is 8. On the other hand of the scale, well, plus 8, which is going to be 16. That's the lowest it can go. At level 5, that's like half a health pool of a wizard. And at the lowest, that is like 4 times... no, 8 times... 4 times 8 plus 8. which is gonna be 40 damage, which is gonna be like more than enough to kill a wizard. Like, okay, I expect not all people in my campaign to play wizards, but it's like a good view on what it might bring. So yeah, magic missile can only be cast once that way. Okay, let's go to you again. And then psychic defense. While Rina is wearing no armor and wielding no shield. His AC includes his wisdom modifier. That's the one that caused that to be kind of weird. Okay, so go. Now, multi-attack. Brinath makes 2 unarmed strikes. Unarmed strike. Melee weapon attack +7, 2 hits, reach 5/3 on target, hit 11, 2d6 +4. Blood shielding damage +13, 3d8. Psychic damage. This is a magic weapon attack. There we go. That's Brinath and his stat sheet right here on the left. Right now, I kind of want to have this. Snooping tool. There we go. I want this in my file, just in case that I need it at some point in time. So let's post that right there. Oh. And that should be well enough. So the human admiral, no stat sheet needed for now. I'm pretty much gonna be making the stat sheets for some of the regular folks that should like actually have a reason to be fought in the source material. So yeah, a couple of people in the landing. Those can just pretty much be commoners. Okay, back up you go, commoner. That's 2024. Let's get a regular 2020. Yeah. No exit and snipping tool. No one. Wow, why is it so washed? Yeah, for some reason, whenever I do this, my screen goes bad. Why didn't it do it with the previous one? Yeah, same with Gyatso. What the hell is going on? Okay, now I want some names for those people. In the landing specifically, I want 3 people. I want 3 people with names. So let's go to Fantasy Name Generator and see about human names. Oh my god, there's no human names in this. Yes, there is. Let's go to real names and see about Nordic ones. Biblical, Cameroonian, Egyptian names, Eritrean. Royalty names, Shona, Somali. Oh, that's in Africa. Okay, Europe. Wow. Okay, this is actually more what I was thinking of. Okay, cool. Let's get a male name. Oof, and a male name that might be able to be pronounceable. Bart Olofsson. Oh, come on. Why is this not working? Hello? Am I still streaming? I should be. Is Google Chrome having a stroke? Or is my PC having a stroke? I mean, it is doing okay, but seemingly not okay. Yeah, Chrome is having... What? Chrome is currently using 8 gigs of RAM. What? Oh. And now suddenly it's a lot less. Cool. Okay, cool. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. Barbara Olofsson? No. Let's get a female name. Erlen Hilbertsdotter. And then Mist Stanrodsdottir. And now fix that up. Okay. Person in the trade ports. That guy is gonna be Bragi Jörversson. And then a map of the landing, a map of the trade port, and a map of the warehouse. So let's switch over for a second to map generation. I'm actually not entirely sure what I might want to do for map generation. I have Dungeon Draft, Campus of Kings, Flowscape, Tiny Glade, and Groundskeeper. I might go with Campus of King for a second. This is going to be quite a look. If the game wants to load in this. It says it's loading. There we go. So this is one of the few like map softwares that I have. There's a couple more that I have. WASD, track camera, zoom camera. Okay. So this is like quite a bit of white space, so I'm very sorry for y'all. Thing is, I'm not even sure if I can, like, do it justice with this. I'm no artist, that is for certain. How come there's like... That's not a tree. Why is this in the trees? Yeah, so this might make less sense than I expected. Okay, cool. Like, to get an idea, Tiny Glade might be an option. What I currently want is like some kind of map software that helps, or like a map in general that helps me with like a plain area with like a pretty much just a road through it. Tiny Glade might work for that. Even if it's like literally a tiny map. This is one that I made before, specifically to try and get something working that might be a cool idea for the for the citadel itself, but let's do something autumn-ish. I think I might have to change my stream thing for this. There we go. Tiny glade. Right, so that's how I can pretty much go. I would like a bigger map, but that's not what this is for, right? This is called Tiny Glade, not like massive amounts of place. Okay. So I might want to have people enter like here. Get here to a small, to like a couple buildings. Maybe a farmhouse, maybe. Bit like that, maybe. Oh yeah, this game does that. Kinda keep on forgetting that it does that, but... And then, path. All the way to here. Okay, so Is that all I need? Kind of, but not really. And maybe try and get something cool here, but like... This arch looks like ew. Very ew. Good work with this. Take a pic of that. Cool. Let's go see that screenshot. Let's go back to... Actually, let's go to just chatting. Guess we're gonna do a lot on that, and we're gonna change games and stuff. Oh, why did it not change? Okay, there we go. So, we're gonna quit this. That's those two, that's cool. Okay, exit, quit. Okay. The game. Copy to clipboards. Now we have that. Okay, map of the trade ports. This might actually be better if we do it in Dungeon Draft. I think so. No, what's the one? Incarnate? No. No. No, might have to go Dungeon Draft for this. Oh, missing executable, okay. Cool. So we need a new map that is about the size of a 50-inch TV. Starting with my map wizard. Okay, so this is gonna be yeah, it's neither actually. Like, it's not a dungeon, it's not a cave. So what is it gonna be? Okay, so I want something akin to a spaceport. That means that I am going to have to terrain brush and maybe even water brush. So if I do this, I want it larger. Cool. And then terrain sand. Okay. Don't need objects. Might need walls. Or even floors. Wall types, we're gonna make a regular fence. Let's get some buildings going. A regular door right in the middle here and here. These buildings will have certain functions. Let's see my objects. Okay, so one is definitely gonna have the need of a desk. So let's desk. Can I turn off snap? Yes. There we go. Why is this a desk? The Cheval de Frise. Why is that a desk? Chest. Candle. We might have to give that candle a little bit of extra color later on. And then some box. That's gonna be a crate. No. Maybe? Oh yeah, here, crate. Can I get you like 0.5? And then 8.2. go back to a point to one size. No, 0.5. A bedroll. Just a simple one should be fine, but you know. There we go. Oh. That bedroll. Apart from that, we also might need something for the other room, which could be just a shelf. Well, a couple shelves. And then a one. And then go back to the materials one, portal. Do I have a window somewhere? Yes, I do. There we go, and not sure if those are meant to be windows, but yeah, sure. As for this, light tools, I want like a 2 range intensity 0.5 on this candle. And then let's zoom out objects and put in a lantern. Wow. This is going to be a 0.8. Okay, there we go. This light tool, let's make one with a range of 4 blocks and a intensity of 0.8 for you and you and you. Now going to require a way across, don't we? Oh yeah, and this can snap again. That makes more sense. Okay, cool. And then a couple of walls. That serve purpose as part of the bridge. Also, I just noticed that that didn't go far enough. And then as for objects, okay, I do need to delete those two, but we can do some items maybe in the water. So let's see about sticks. Got some. Yeah, it's with an A, but okay, sure. There we go. And rock. Ah. Okay, that is not boding well. Rock lava. This is more than I was expecting to see. Nope. Okay. Trunk is not a thing. What else could we get? I mean, we could try and make a ship over here, but that's not going to be a thing. Not for now. Okay. Am I happy about this map? No. Am I happy enough about this map? Yes. In that case, let's move on. Oh man, I can hear the cringe of some people from all the way over here, and I'm all the way in Belgium. Okay, Crystalized Arcana, and then the Not the landing, the... No, not the warehouse. Is this the warehouse? No. This is the trade port. Let's also export this map as a universal VTT map. Let's see if that does a thing. I have no clue. Grid PPI might have to be reduced to 70, I believe, to remember something like that, and then export this to my Dungeons and Dragons folder, Crystalized Arcana. I hope this works. The trade ports. And if that doesn't work, I'm gonna have to export to a JPEG. This one will be put into this one. Oh. There we go. And that should be generally okay. Okay. Don't forget to drink, people, because I sure am forgetting. Okay, a map of the warehouse. This might be slightly deviating from the plans of the original. So in Mass Effect, at the end of the first, at the end of the first mission on, I believe it is Eden Prime, you come to a port and they have laid bombs on it and stuff like that. I want to do something kind of different with it. Let's create a new map. About the same size, but this time I want to go yeah, something around finish. So design, building tool, U and U. Kind of like that. But this is 23 divided by 11. So we need a door right around here. Can we make a 3 wide door? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Apparently, we cannot. By making it bigger like that won't do it justice either. That doesn't look overly bad. So I want a couple pillars. Let's see about objects and then pillar. Pillar itself is apparently not a thing unless we go down a bit, which is weird because, sure. And in this case I might want to go with a wooden pillar, specifically to like not make it look like too like solid enough to break with a explosion, not solid enough to like be a structure that will stand there for the rest of time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this actually makes perfect sense. Nice. You and you. You and you. You, no. Oops. Objects and then you and you. You and you. You and you. Perfect. Now. I want some form of altar. Standing right here with a scale needs to be at least 2. Might even need to be like 3. No shadow. And change the color to like white or something. Apparently we cannot do that on this. So let's put that right there. Unless I can find a different set of balls. No. Okay. Oh, you. So, okay. This might take a while on just the infrastructure. So, yeah, okay. Objects, and we might need crates again. Crate. It's a crate, it's not a crate. And then change this to size 2. Okay. Snap off. It just needs to convey the idea of a warehouse, not actually like be one in this case. I don't want to spend a million hours on one map. I do not have that time in general. But hey. Do it like that. Go. A couple of these in the way. Fruit box, fruit box, fruit box, fruit box. Yeah, okay, that's not gonna be a thing. Okay. Chest. Let's make this a 2-size chest. Hadn't expected to play Snake with the chests, but hey. There's a first time for everything. Also, for those interested, all of you are interesting. The sounds I'm currently using as backgrounds are from the South Coast Soundscapes on YouTube. This one specifically is from Altland from the Tyranny of Dragons playlist. It's currently an hour and a half in, like, the sound, so that might take a bit longer. Those are nests, not chests. Wow, okay. Yes, I know this might make people a little bit on the, like, peeved off side that it's not, like, perfect, but I'm gonna say that's not me that makes it not perfect. That's the people stuck in the warehouse. So, to get something going that might be a bit more interesting for a second, I do have a little thing written out currently It has to do with the vision people will be seeing. Currently I have eclectic visions envelop your minds. Visions of a splinter you don't remember from your travels. Weird creatures, humanoid but with animal heads, some with wings, some without. Running towards or from something, you're not overly sure. You feel pain in your head as if something is sitting there, swelling, feeding on something. The pain doesn't go away as you see flashes of things that defy comprehension. Tentacles, beaks. As more and more visions of these flash in your mind, the pain swells, as one thing comes popping up, the giant Nautilus-shaped ship with tentacles, as if it wants something from you. And as soon as these visions start, so everything goes black. So, yeah, tiny little thing of the law. Gonna be a tiny little thing we're gonna be working on in a while. Okay, so at this point in time, I have the same thing a friend of mine had yesterday. I have apparently 2 viewers, which is not true, because that's just the viewers, not the moderators and the broadcasters. I'm viewing my own stream. Okay, I can get that not being a thing, but my moderators not counting would be weird. Well, moderator at this point in time. Okay, let's see about barrels. That's a bit much in it. Why is there a toilet in the barrels? There's like 100 those already done. Okay. Kinda wouldn't mind taking all of that and copy pasting it to the other side. Can I do that? Yes, I can. Can I rotate it? Yes, I can. Nice. This is lazy, and I like it. Not necessarily weapon shelves, but these might be used for like storing tools from people that are currently supposed to be working, or like shipment stuff. So you. Go. Let's see, what else do we have? No. No, not really. Clutter, maybe? Not really. Magic, maybe? Because this is technically a place for magic and stuff. Totems. There we go. Some liquid storage. Stable, maybe. Don't think I want to make this as stable as well. Like, just storage should be fine. Storage. Maybe some cards. Like, do we have that? Cards? Card. There we go. Change this to brownish. Go, a couple cards. Let's make this like a tools, like a kind of like workshop-ish. No, apparently not. Huh. weapons, maybe? Does this have a... No, it does not. Cool. Oh yeah, come on, let's store an entire trebuchet in this warehouse. Because they're definitely gonna need it. It's a hammock, not a hammer. It's an open desk. This is a cheval de frise, not a desk, but sure. As maybe wood and stuff should be fine for one of these. But like 3 times the size. No, that doesn't make sense. Administration also not really has a thing. Armor, we could do a couple armor stands. And a desk right here at the... Oh! That's not a desk. I would not describe that as a desk. There we go. Okay. That's food stuff, not food in a barrel. Instruments, also not really mine. We could maybe have like a couple of those smaller carts here. The fence. Not really. Okay. Dining. This actually could make sense that this is like just placed there right then and there. Okay, let's save this, let's export this to to a PNG, export as being the warehouse, export as a universal VTT, export as the warehouse, and save this. As the warehouse. There we go. Nice. Now I need this thing, the warehouse JPEG. No. Copy all the way over here. And paste. There we go. Not like the best thing ever, but good enough. Okay, so a vision of the Nautilus hanging over the warehouse or mountain. That's going to be something that I won't be able to do by myself. Right. So that's pretty much prologue good. Sort of. I'm quite very sure that we will need more stuff. But at this point in time, I think this is okay enough to start. Also, hi Geff, how's it going? Actually no. There are some things to consider, because specifically, there are some things that need to be worked on, like for instance a general datasheet on the mono gnomes. Mono gnomes. There we go. The mononome specifically is a creature that I have come up with. Well, that I have come up with is saying a lot. It's not really something I have come with, but it's something I'm trying to come up with. Mono drone is the base for it. Why specifically the mono drone? So the mono gnome is a is gonna be a creature based on the monodrone from Mechanus. The monodrone specifically is a small mechanical being that follows one specific order. It is rather low in challenge, which is perfect for what I want it to be. So this is gonna be a medium construct, lawful, yeah, neutral technically, but in the first part it's gonna be rather evil. Okay. Armor class is 15. No. Actual armor. Hit. Oh. Points is gonna be 5. 1 D8 plus 1. Speed. I'm gonna limit them to on the ground, So just 30 foot and roll initiative +1. Now, okay, so I'm gonna quickly copy paste this, but I'm gonna change it out for a couple of the things that we see here. So strength is definitely gonna be that. Dex is gonna be 13, sure, works enough for me. Constitution 12. Intelligence is gonna be 4. Meaning that this is going to be -3. Wisdom is going to be a 10, which is going to be a +0, and charisma is going to be a 5, which is going to be a -3. Okay, so this is gonna be census. Do I want to give them true sight? I don't think. Not entirely sure. Do I want it to have true sight? Might be interesting, but like... Okay, senses. Do I want to give him true sight? Maybe yes, but not 120 foot. Passive perception 10. Languages Nomian. And then challenge 1/8 25 XP, and then bonus proficiency bonus is +2. Then another one of those lines. Traits. Which is going to be axiomatic mind. The mononome can't be compelled to act in a manner contrary to its nature or its instructions. Oh, and I need to do that. This integration. If the no dies, its body disintegrates into dust, leaving behind its weapons and anything else it was carrying. Now, do I want to give him the ability of the Geth to suddenly transport their mind into, like, the Geth Gestalt? Maybe. Let's say yes. Senses mind. On Death, the mind of a mono gnome gets the magic infused in the soulstone, gets wisps away to a location past the stars, to past the another splinter, where it reassembles with the auto gnome. Consensus. Okay. I didn't know how much that makes sense, but to me it kind of does. Okay, let's go over to traits is on the line. That's perfect. Okay. Actions. So pretty much gonna do a dagger, which is gonna be a melee weapon attack, +3 to hit, reach 5 foot. One target, hit, is going to be 3, 1d4 +1 piercing damage, and then javelin. Melee or ranged weapon attack, +3 to hit, reach 5 foot or range 30, 120 foot, one target, hit, 4, 1d6 +1 piercing damage. So that should technically be, yeah, double, like, not double, like, extra hit points from the last one. Cool. And that's gonna be that. So that is gonna be the mononome. You also have the duodrone, stuff like that. Okay, so duodrone. which is a legacy monster, which looks a little bit different from the mononome. Duonome, which is going to be like 15 natural armor, 11 health, which is going to be 2d8 plus 2, 30 foot, roll initiative plus 1, strength is going to be 11, 13, 12, 6, which is going to be a minus 2 instead, 10 and 7. Minus 2. True sight 60 foot, passive perception 10. I'm going to keep that. Apparently I forgot to put something there. Languages is going to be known. This is going to be 1/4, which is going to result in an increase of a full 25 experience. Bonus proficiency 2. Axiomatic mind and disintegration are going to be the same thing. Consensus mind is going to be the same thing. As for action, we have the multi-attack. The duo gnome makes 2 fist attacks or 2 javelin attacks. So instead of dagger, it's going to be fist, which is going to be a melee weapon attack with plus 2 to hit, 5 foot reach, and hit 2, which is going to be a 1d4. Bludgeoning damage. Javelin is still going to be pretty much the exact same thing. Cool. That's the... Do we know? Is this... Yeah, this is not doing the right stuff, is it? Okay. How do I go to the next page? Oh boy. Okay. Text editor. Column break now. No. Comment on brewery index. No. This doesn't work, does it? Yeah, okay, cool. Then the next one is... Yeah, we have mono and duodrones, but like modrons come actually in slightly higher. Tridrone, that's the one. Oh, and this is technically the 2025 one. Do we have Tridrone? Legacy, that's the one. Trinomes, medium constructs, lawful evil, lawful neutral. 15, 16 health, which is going to be 3d8 plus 3. 30 foot initiative, okay, 12 strength, 13 dex, 12 con, 9 int. Wisdom is still 10, and then charisma is 9 minus 1. Truth sign and stuff is still the same. Modron, and this is now currently 1/2, which is gonna give 100 experience. And proficiency is still the same. Axiomatic mind, disintegration, and consensus are still gonna be a thing. But this time I'm gonna pretty much copy this because this is gonna be the same for this. Instead, the Trino makes 3 fist attacks or 3 javelin attacks. Fist is gonna be a +3 to hit. And hitting with 3 damage, which is 1d4 + 1 bludgeoning damage. Javelin 1d6 + 1 works as well. So that's a Trino. We still haven't breached the 1 in challenge. That should technically be the next one. Oh. There's a quadrone. And then some different ones. The quadrone. This one is once again slightly different. This one can, like, yeah. As for this, I will take you and then type in \page, enter Trinomes. Do a try. Quadronomes 16. Natural armor. You can get banned. Perfect. Hit points is going to be 22, which is 44 + 4. 48 + 4. Speed, yeah, you can have flying speed, 530 foot. Roll initiative +2. 12, 14. 2, 12, 10. +0, wisdom 10, and charisma 11. Which is gonna be +0. Right around here we get skills, perception +2. Let's give them like 90 foot true sight, passive perception plus passive perception 12. Language is gnome, and then this one should be the first one with an actual complete number. And then 200 XP, proficiency bonus +2. Traits, axiomatic mind, disintegration, and consensus mind. We have multi-attack, which is going to be a quadronome, makes 4. No, 2 fist attacks or 4. Short bow attacks, which is going to be different from javelin. This is going to be specifically a ranged attack with modifier +4, which is going to negate the reach, but go from 80 to 320 foot. One target hit 5 which is going to be 1d6 plus 2 piercing damage. Nice. These seem to be going quite fast. Okay, cool. Now we have the... I think there's one more regular Murdron, but I could be mistaken. Because there are a couple that are not from the, like, regular ones. Like the Septon, Octon, Nonaton, Decaton, Pentadrone. Yeah, seems to be the one. Pentadrone. Legacy. Yes, so this is Mr. Starfish. Yeah. I don't know myself. Oh. The attacks are different. Nice. Pentanomes. These are 2. Nice. Okay, they have 16, they have 32, which is 5d 10 plus 5, and they only have a regular speed of 40 foot. They have 15 strength, which is a plus 2. They have 14 dex, 12 con, 10 int, 10 wisdom, and 13 charisma. They have perception plus 4. True sight of... let's give these... Oh. Passive perception of 14. Language is gnome. Challenge rating 2 with 450 experience as their bonus. Axiomatic mind, disintegration, and consensus mind still stay the same. The Pentanome makes 5 arm attacks. Oh, arm attacks. And then now these both have to go. Arm dot. Melee weapon. Attack. Plus 4. To hit. Reach 5 foot. One target. Hit. 5. 1d6 plus 2. Bludgeoning damage. And then this is gas. Recharge 5 to 6. The Pentanome exhales 30 foot cone of gas. Each creature in that area must succeed on a DC 11 Constitution saving throw or be paralyzed for 1 minute. A creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. There we go. Pentadrone, Pentanome, Penta everything. So we now have Vrinaf, the Mononomes, Duodrones, duonomes, trinomes, quadronomes, and pentanomes. That should pretty much be everything I'm gonna need for the first part of this. Though the pentanomes might only make an appearance like after the first thing. Right, so we still need a gift name. If any of y'all have a suggestion, please put it forward. Otherwise, I'm gonna try and get a name from whatever I can find here. Let's do goblin names. Okay. Okay. Okay, in that case, I'm gonna give the guy. Okay, Chrome is doing the thing again. Okay, that might literally just be because I have so many tabs open specifically now. Okay. Apparently that's not gonna be good. Okay. Can I? Yes. Okay. Oh, apparently not. Because for some reason now it doesn't want to work again. Cool. Cool. It's exactly what I wanted to know, actually. Yeah. Great. It's just Chrome as well, so... Huh. Cool. Yeah, now we're dealing with that, apparently. Could we please get this to work? Like, please. I might have to... Like, this doesn't even make sense. I'm not running anything on the background. For some reason, Google Chrome is taking 6 GB of RAM. Great. Yeah, it's like... Ah. Are we finally back? Maybe? No? Yes? No? No. Yeah, I'm currently in the header. That's not what I wanted to do. Holy damn, okay. Okay. We're gonna call this guy. I don't think, like... this even doesn't really make all too much sense. Okay. Jotun, names, Pegasus, Phoenix. Names, couple names. Yeah, let's go with Skolna. If the site wants to go on again. Holy fuck, what's going on with my PC? Skolna. Give Saint Magic User. He's not gonna live long enough to get a stat block needed. Frenaf, Evil, Main Villain, Give Magic User plus weapons. Which apparently not. We just take him as a serf. The Admiral, human male, works for the military. We are not gonna give one as of yet. So most likely he will be a level, like a level 4 maybe character. He might be a tactician of sorts, or like literally just have a stat block that doesn't really matter like overly much what or how or when it's calculated. A couple of people in the landing which are going to be Barther Olsson, Erlen Hilbertsdottir and Mist Steinradsdottir. Person in the trade port which is going to be Brage Jurversson, with a map of the landing, map of the trade ports and a map of the warehouse. And then now a view of the citadel, which we are not gonna. Okay, cool. That is quite a decent amount of preparation. We also have Chapter 0. Yeah, so I have made some stand-ins. So the gnome stand-in is going to be Slipcore, which I transformed from a female to a male in this case, specifically because I didn't want to steal, quote unquote, too much from the source material. Now let's also go and see in the sidekicks thingamajigger. So we have Slipcore, which is gonna be a gnome, because that's the of the autonomes. We have Imolrus, which is gonna be a GIF. I tried, which is going to be the Garrus stand-in, and Ursel Cloudblood, which is going to be the female version of a Rex stand-in. Yeah. They all have stats specifically based upon the Warrior sidekick, the Expert sidekick, and the Magic User sidekick. Why Ursel is a Magic User, I don't know, shut up. That's my official answer. And that's gonna be that. There's also gonna be like a couple extra bits. I think the barkeep, I will make a Kenku with the name of Chick Fizz. I'm gonna need like a map of the bar. I'm gonna need the triumvirate, a GIF, a Kenku, and an elf, and a Admiral Kahoku stand-in. Because yes, we're gonna do that if things allow. So, things needed for the players. So, specifically at this point in time, this is just a thing for people to maybe have as a not need to know, but maybe need to have, because yeah, it could be. Oh boy, it could be that I play this with a couple groups, like my Darkest Dungeon run that I never finished. My Darkest Dungeon game that actually only one place ever got explored in that. So in this case, for this Dungeons and Dragons campaign, I need to know the reasons they are on the ship. Are they, like, for instance, a chef, or like are they what are they, a military rank, or are they something to do with construction, engineering? Are they literally on the ship as a morale officer of sorts? Are they have they won a competition to be on the ship? I don't know. They're welcome to tell me what they wanted to be, where they're from. Are they splinterborn? Like, are they part of, like, what in Mass Effect would be a planet, what in this would be a part of the planet? Are they born on a ship, and have they lived on a ship? Is there something else that I haven't thought about that they might be interested in, maybe exploring? Have they traveled a lot, like either on their home splinter, on the species' splinter, like let's say they are not official, they are human, and in this the humans have the Midgard as their home splinter, but it could be that they are not officially from Midgard. They are from let's say Jotunheim. They are born in Jotunheim and they have explored Jotunheim like fast. They know everything from Jotunheim. But like the main splinter they do not know all too much about. That's where this would go. And if they were, like, for instance, they were traveling before, and like traveling from splinter to splinter, that might be interesting as well. Short info about the species, they are gonna need that, definitely. Like, I have a quick information thing, species information, that I'm gonna have to kind of give the people. They are not beholden to it, because I do not want people to, like, feel they should just play what I have prepared. If I have not prepared, that means that I will prepare. Like, for instance, dwarves are at this point in time not in the campaign. If people want to play a dwarf, I can make that happen. That's not overly difficult. They could be a subspecies of human or whatever. They could have their own splinter, and so on, and so on, and so on. There's also, yeah, a consent form, like, what are people okay with, what are people not okay with. Let's quickly do this, and then specifically described intercourse. Implied intercourse. Stuff like that, like the usual things to do or not do with players. Maybe people don't want a certain kind of how to say that? Maybe people do not want a certain kind of certain kind of NPC, like they view. This is gonna sound harsh, but like they do not view people with wheelchairs to be part of their view in a Dungeons and Dragons game, for instance. They feel that everyone in a Dungeons and Dragons game should be able to have healthcare in some way, shape or form, and that wheelchairs are not a thing. They can fix everyone, they fix everyone, and so on. That might be a thing. Do I include that? Because that is kind of ableist. I like with that, not necessarily like wheelchairs, right? I mean like people with, like, some people have, like, had something happen in their past that they do not want to be part of their game, which is also completely fair. Like, someone might have a family member who lost an arm in a tragic car accident and they don't want, like, NPCs with no arms, or like with one arm missing. Could see that. But is that, like, that is not horror. That's, Do I want to write that down, and how do I write that down? Because that's going to be a different thing as well, right? How do we call it in Dutch? We call it anders valide, which is also a weird way of saying it, because it literally means like differently valid. Like those people are valid but differently. Like consequences to wounds, missing limbs, missing facial features, eyes is burned skin, okay. Because we only have like depends on when DMB goes live. So these are the species that I have prepared, and I will go over all of them. I have even more information about every one of them. So we have the humans, which, surprise surprise, are the humans. The Atari in Mass Effect are going to be portrayed by the elves. Volus in Mass Effect will be the Turtle. Elkol will be the Centaur. Turian will be the Gif. Krogan the Goliath. Hannah will be Lokatha. This one specifically, like, I like the Lokatha, but like I needed something that fits, right? Specifically with the Triton, which I have dubbed the best transformation for the Drell. Specifically because the Triton, the Drell in Mass Effect used to live in a world where, like, suddenly apocalypse and the Hanar took them in. But the thing is, the Hanar they live on a water world, and the Drell lived on pretty much a desert world. So suddenly they had to change their biology in like a generation, which, like, surprise, surprise, can't happen. And then they got a sickness that caused, like, well, sickness. Their biology is not made for it, so they are like slowly gathering moisture in their lungs, and slowly but surely they like die of like not getting enough oxygen in their bodies. Like they choke themselves to death after living on moist places for too long, or something like that. So in this like fantasy version of that, I'm gonna make the Triton like the people from Atlantis, right? The people who live in oceans and seas and have great old palaces beneath the surface, and the Lokotha who like are also underwater, but in this case I want to make them the lake variant. So Triton had to do something that salmon do. For those that do not know, salmon, once they spawn, they go down the river to the sea, and once they come back to mate, they go from the sea to the fresh water where they spawned. So salmon, they change dramatically thanks to the simple fact that they go from salt water to fresh water. Salt water or saline water is like drains moisture from cells. Like if you were to put like a watermelon or something in seawater with like stuff like that, it would like technically it would drain the water from the watermelon at some point, though like thanks to it not being sterile and stuff like that, it's gonna go to waste way before it actually does that. But same happens with fish and stuff. Like if you take a fish that is meant to live in fresh water and you put it in salt water, suddenly it shrinks because the water like gets drained out of their body, which also, like for most fish, causes severe dehydration and stuff. So yeah, fish can actually die from dehydration. As for the other end, when you take a saltwater fish and you put it in fresh water, the cells that are made to live in saline water get flooded with as much water as possible, and they expand, and that can hurt as well. Like, if not the biggest reason for salmon to die after having spawned, it certainly doesn't do well. So that's what the Triton had to do here. They went from a saltwater environment to a freshwater environment, which their bodies can't handle, etc., etc., etc. The Solarians, the scientific thingamajiggers, the scientific aliens, they are transformed into the Kenku. In this case specifically so that I can work a little bit with that lore of the Kenku. Kenku have been punished by the gods. In regular D&D that would be because they tried to like find a way to overtake them, I believe it was. So the gods took their way of flight and their way of speech. I believe also their way of like inventing new stuff, but I'm not entirely sure on that. I want to kind of have something to do with that lore. In this case, the Kenku and the Gif worked together to make the Goliath no longer part of the Ordning, which is the giant like listing of how good and how bad you are by strength and stuff like that. The higher you are in the Ordning, the higher class, like the higher caste you are. Like technically, Storm Giants, I think, tend to be in the highest castes, while the Hill Giants, I believe, tend to be in the lowest. Though that extends technically with the Goliaths being underneath that, but only the like very important Goliaths, which in this, like in my version of it, every Goliath had a part in it, but only like to some point. The Kenku and the Gif came in, for some reason managed to get their gods so angry at the Goliaths that they said, nope, not part of the Ordning anymore. And now they are slowly working towards trying to get back to good graces with their gods so that they can be part of the Ordning again. Then we have the Batarians, the like six-eyed monsters, like humanoids, like the most humanoid aliens in Mass Effect that aren't humans. They are going to be portrayed by the Orcs. The Geth are going to be the Autonomes, which is a I believe it's a thing that happens to be in one of the later books in Spelljammer, I believe. Not entirely sure. Which makes the Quarians, which are the makers of the Geth, transform into the Gnomes, which I think is a cool, like, one-for-one. Could also have done this. I think originally the ideas were Warforged and Furbolg, but you can also do this with, like, I had an idea. What was it again? I don't remember. I should have said it before. Okay, nope, it's not coming again. If it's important, it's important. And if it's not, it's not, and I will forget. Okay, the goblins are gonna be what the Vulture were. I'm gonna make them like... The Vulture are a little bit mischievous, they are a little bit sad to fight and stuff like that. They are also very much, well, pretty much everywhere, so yeah, the gnomes are perfect for that. The goblins are perfect for that. The Yag, I just wanted to add them specifically for two things. Mass Effect 2, the Shadow Broker DLC has a Yag, and the rescue of Eve in Mass Effect 3 has a Yag. Kind of just wanted them in. Then this one was kind of a fight. Like the Aasimar, the Aasimar, whatever you want to call them, they seemed perfect for this. Specifically because you had the regular Aasimar and you had the fallen Aasimar. But they also don't work. And specifically because Aasimar, they, as a friend of mine, Mr. McBoy, who I sent y'all over to quite a lot, as he mentioned, Aasimar can come from pretty much everywhere. Like, anyone with a sufficiently high divine bloodline or whatever can become an Aasimar. Even people that for some reason have had no Aasimar in like 50 generations or something can suddenly become an Aasimar. And fallen Aasimars are like literally those but from the bad gods, or like literally fell from the graces of their own gods. So yeah, that kind of worked, but not entirely. Plus the fact that some people might want to play an Aasimar, and me saying, oh yeah, no, that's not gonna be a thing, didn't seem overly fun. So I had to look for a second, like, thing that could be a funny one. And yeah, the Ardling were a thing that only once appeared in a Unearthed Arcana for the 1D&D books. So yeah, they seem to fit quite well, the Ardlings, and yeah, the Myconids. I like the Myconids. In Baldur's Gate, they are one of the cool quests that you can do in it. I like it. So yeah, having the Ardling Myconids actually kind of makes sense, like in this case. Specifically because, like, in the Underdark, a lot of things have had interactions with the Mind Flayers, which are going to be what the Reapers are going to be portrayed as, Mind Flayers. Specifically because I thought, and I could be mistaken, Mind Flayers. Yeah. D&D Beyond. Illithid, Mind Flayers. Because I think Mind Flayers would... Oh, come on. Because I think Mind Flayers would be about the level that I want them to fight at that time. So, yeah, level 7. So the first part, like Mass Effect 1, Crystalized Arcana 1, I want to have the people go from level 1 to 5. That kind of makes sense to me. It is also kind of what the game, like what Mass Effect does. What I mean with that specifically, that is the first stage of play. Pretty much the local hero. Like in Mass Effect, Shepard is already kind of a hero, but like not known throughout the galaxy at the start of the first game. So becoming like a local legend to some people is gonna be interesting in this case. That would be levels 1 through 5. Then becoming a like a country legend, or like a continental legend, kind of, would be levels 6 to 10, which would make sense. Also in the second game, you do not fight any Reapers yet. You do come across some like some of the thralls and stuff, like the collectors. That's about it. And in the third game, which is the oh my god, we have to save the entire world, you get the like level 11 to 15 stuff, which is like, yeah, by then the players should be able to make quick work of like Mind Flayers and like Mind Flayer, not gonna say Mind Flayer colonies, because the Elder Brain and stuff is still quite a bit more interesting in the realms of like the rest, but like I believe an Arcanist is a 10th level spellcaster. They are challenge rating 8. A clairvoyant. What is that? Okay, never seen that one before. Level 11. So yeah, by then we are starting to get to the funny thing. To the funny things. Like challenge level 11 and stuff. That's cool. We also have scions and stuff like that, and like a mind flayer Nothic. Specifically like one of those smaller creatures, which could be a challenge rating 2 monster at some point in that game, like Mind Flayer Lich. Like, that sounds insane. It's a challenge rating 22, so yeah, that might be a thing. But yeah, and then I'm not preparing for Mass Effect Andromeda to be in this, like the Crystalized Arcana game. But technically I could. Specifically because levels 16 to 20 are the levels that technically characters tend to be like traveling the multiverse. Going from the regular material plane to the outer realms and to the inner realms and to this and to that and help gods become gods. That's all in that part of the game. I'm not necessarily preparing for that, but I could. There is Mass Effect Andromeda, which we also could like add to this. Which might be interesting, though not necessarily, because Mass Effect Andromeda never got finished, if you ask me. But like it's waiting for a upgrade, like a finish to the entire story, because like it's technically only starting for one of the Ryder sisters at Ryder siblings at the end of the game. Oh my god, spoilers! I'm sorry. So yeah, that's the Illithid, the Mind Flayers, and at the very end, the Kuatoa as the Keepers. Because I like the Kuatoa, I might take their power to create gods from them. I'm very sorry. I know some of you might have looked at that and said, yeah, Kuatoa, yes, perfect, let's create a couple gods. No. Not gonna let that be a thing. So, some of these might be a little bit weird, specifically like the humans and stuff, like feudal monarchy. Like you have a king, you have a duke, you have a baron, you have a this, you have a that. That all from the top down, that should work. They have a couple religions, they have a couple this, they have a couple that. Norse mythology, specifically in the Yggdrasil cluster, which is the main cluster, like that would be like Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Venus, etc. Greece mythology would be the Olympus cluster, which is the cluster where the three in my mind, the 3 level ups would be like the oh yeah, go get that scientist, go get the Aboleth. Yes, we're gonna see if we can find an Aboleth, and go see the go see what that crazy old hag is doing, because we might be able to do a hag. That's going to be mostly Greece mythology. I might have to change a couple of things to actually be from Greece myths. Like, I might change the Aboleth to be called the Kraken, for instance. And the Anubis are specifically Egyptian mythology group. So, Cerberus from Mass Effect, I changed their inspiration. Instead of like Greece myths, they are now Egyptian myths. Pretty much exactly what you think humans would do. As for elves, they have a theocracy. Specifically, they believe in gods and they work for the gods. Their highest authority is the High Priestess. They have their main religion is Father Corellon as their main god, with his wife Angarad at his side, and both can be seen as a thing. Specifically, Corellon is the god of fortune, and Angarad is the goddess of misfortune. In my version, that's not what they are for. In the regular law of the Forgotten Realms, they are both good gods. In my version, they are the gods of fortune and misfortune, and there can be no fortune without misfortune, and no misfortune without fortune. And they are equals, and both of them are good and both of them are bad, because you can wish fortune upon a friend, but you can also wish misfortune upon a friend so that they fall into a prank and stuff like that. Life is sacred, so the elves are omnivorous, but they prefer vegetables and stuff. The turtles are capitalistic, so pretty much, that might be a weirdish thing that's gonna happen, but I'm not entirely sure. I kind of want something to go with that. They engrave and they put gold into their shells, and they take their entire wealth with them. The more golden a turtle is, by the it doesn't even really matter by when. Just the more golden a turtle is, and the more engraved and this and that, the higher level of wealth they have gathered. The centaurs are nomadic. I imagine them being spread all over the world, but there's a ring of permanent structures at the equator where they go to mate and stuff like that, and some researchers stay there for a year before they all come there again. The Gith are feudal Japanese, so most likely going to be similar to samurai in structure, things like that. Goliaths, the Ordning is their governmental structure. They might have been struck from the actual Ordning, but they kept their own version of it. So that's just a facsimile, or a rather a watered down version of it. Diatomees, construction, stuff like that. The Locathar are nomadic in schools like fish, and they are mostly freshwater related. Their religion specifically talks about the Abyss, with the Deep Templar and the Deep Priest instead of the High Templar and the High Priest. They eat fish. Make of that what you want. The Triton, they have asylum under the Locathar government. They used to live in a saltwater splinter, but now live in a place that's fresh water. Dietary meat's mostly marine, so pretty much any fish, mammal, stuff like that they can find. After going into involuntary exile, they are prepared to eat surface plants as well. Kenku specifically live in guild structures, so there's a guild house where people gather. In that guild house, every guild has a small office they tend to gather in. and then the town around it is sprawling guilds, like the Baker's Guild, the Blacksmith's Guild, the Goldsmith's Guild, the Jeweler's Guild, and stuff and stuff and stuff and stuff. The Orcs are democratic, naval-based, and I would like them to be pirates. So we're gonna see if that's working. Autonomes, they have a true democracy, as in being a consensus. Only when all autonomes vote on something and the vote is taken, everyone says, okay, that vote is taken, we are now one behind that specific thing. The regular gnomes are democratic as well, but in a company structure. The board of directors is the ruling group instead of like a triumvirate and stuff. The branch managers are the governments, and then like, I'm not entirely sure if guild leaders is the right thing, but like, under the branch managers. Then we have goblins, which are tribal kleptocratic, which kind of makes sense. Like, I would expect that the goblins would live in tribes, and that the leaders would steal from the like people beneath them. Yuan-Ti are tribal, like pretty much just tribal, like religion, everything snake-based. Ardlings are autocratic, integrating aggressive pacifists. Specifically, the quote is, there can't be war if there is no conflict. Ardling Myconids are a hive mind by divine intervention. Specifically, divine intervention from the oh my god, from the Illithid. Then the Mind Flayers are a hive mind, specifically behind the Elder Brains. I might even create like a primordial Elder Brain, or might do something like an Elder Brain, we'll see. And then we have the Kuatoa, which only live on the cathedral, so they don't really matter. But with that explanation done, I will be sending y'all over to a friend of mine who is currently going to be playing Project Zomboid. Hope y'all had a good day, hope y'all had a good time. I sure did a couple things that I had planned for today. Sure did a couple things not that I had planned for today, but so far so good, right? This might all be used in the campaign at some point in time. I'm not sure when, I'm not sure where, but we'll see. Anyway, hope y'all had a good day, hope y'all had a good time. I will see you again on Tuesday after my singing exam. Final exam for singing class. Have a good one. See you.
Okay, great.